so far this year, Rod.
And the blue mask. Again, a Montreal defense, though, that is so good against the run, averaging 80.7 yards per game given up. Every time Corey Boyd goes for 100 yards, the Argos win.
Of course, Corey Boyd celebrated birthday number 25 in fine fashion last Friday night in Edmonton. A career high 164 yards in that ball game. His first receiving touchdown of the season as well.
3 touchdowns in that game, and again CFL Offensive Player of the Week. And up the gut goes Boyd. Looking at the spot from here, looks like it should move the sticks. It is a first down. Let's take a look back to last week at Commonwealth Stadium.
The Argos look to ride this guy tonight the same way they did at Commonwealth 8 days ago. Corey Boyd, fantastic on the ground, as we all knew. This is a guy who actually spent a year as a receiver in college as well. And I would say that the highlight reel catch demonstrated exactly why.
Play action. Out of the backfield goes Chad Owens, who has some running room. Owens, the flying Hawaiian. Aloha, he takes it down to the end zone. And he's down at the 2-yard line. There is a penalty flag there. It looked like Owens had got to the end zone. Chad Owens, the former Alouette, 63 yards. Looked like a face mask.
Major foul. Horse collar tackle.
Horse collar.
Montreal number 40. Penalties applied. Half the distance to the goal, and it's first down.
Cannot grab a player from behind, so the Argos are going to try to punch it in from here. What a play.
Well, this is 12 guys doing their job. It's Corey Boyd and Cleo Lemon on the play action fake. Ryan Christian gets a block. Brandon Rito gets a block. Andre Dury and Chad Lucas are downfield getting body on a body. All Chad Owens had to do was run. Great effort all around by the 12 Argos on the field on that play.
Yeah, they're challenging if he's in the end zone or not. And as you saw Diamond Ferry grab him from behind, that's a horse collar tackle.
And this is my initial thought on the play. You know, without looking closely at the replay yet, I like this challenge by Jim Barker because I thought he was in when he went down. He falls backwards and stretches the ball over the goal line before he goes down. He's not down yet, not down yet. Ball is over before he's down.
Looks
Great
like
challenge.
a touchdown.
Toronto is challenging the ruling on the field. They believe they scored. We'll review the play.
So Bud Steen will come over on the headset again at CFL Command. Jake Ireland there, and crew will look at it in high definition, a number of looks at it, and then make the determination.
Well, and you may think, you know, why bother gambling a challenge when you're first and goal from the 1-yard line? It should be a gimme. But the easy response is if you're really confident that you're in, why risk having the ball popped out of there, having one of your guys take a hit in short yardage or anything like that when they don't need to? This is a good challenge from Jim Barker.
A great play from Chad Owens, who was silenced the last time these two teams played. Owens had a great start to his debut as an Argo early this season. Here is the verdict.
The ruling on the field is overturned. It is a touchdown.
Good challenge.
The horse collar penalty will be applied on the kickoff.
And there's another big part of that penalty. Now they'll even have more yards in the kickoff. And Chad Owens has his 3rd touchdown as an Argo. The 2 previous came via returns, a punt return, a missed field goal.
Chad Owens perhaps taking a page from the book of Marcus Thigpen.
Yeah.
Last night became the first guy to score touchdowns in 5 different ways in the same season. Chad Owens is up to 3 with 12 games to go.
West needs a kickoff return touchdown and a rushing touchdown. Chad Owens in the house. 7-0 Argos. University of Hawaii. Rainbow Warriors, and out of the end zone comes Tim Maypray. Brings it to the 20-yard line. So after the touchdown and the penalty, and Anthony Calvillo back at work, and that dislocated digit.
After being sacked by Saskatchewan's Brent Hawkins last week, Calvillo came up checking that index finger. Dislocated the tip of his finger. Said he wouldn't have been able to go back in that game last week had he needed to. He just felt like the ball was slipping out of his hand with the tape job. But he didn't miss a day of practice. Experimented with some different tape jobs and said it feels okay.
Jamel Richardson behind some blocking. First down and more. Anthony Calvillo, dislocated finger and all. Said it's been a tough week of practice, but the finger is A-okay.
I didn't realize how serious it could have been after talking to the doctors. But once we got the x-rays back and they said there was no little bone fragments or no ligament damage, that everything should be okay. But they said it could have been worse. But we got great news. It was a clean dislocation and had a great week of practice.
Anthony Calvillo, who dislocated a finger, pinky, on his non-throwing hand a couple of seasons ago in similar situation, kind of looked at it and wasn't looking quite the way it's supposed to look. But you know, you weren't a quarterback, but I don't think you have to be a quarterback to realize that with that right index finger, when you throw a football, that is the last finger that touches the ball before it flies.
Yeah, we heard Matt Dunnigan talk about this in the studio just before kickoff. You know, it's clearly it's going to impact your release, your accuracy, your control of that ball. And for a quarterback working in a system where he relies on that so much, you know, it would have been a big issue for Anthony Calvillo had it been more serious.
An issue for the Alouettes. S.J. Green down and injured. Again, we'll try to get an update. Big story on the injury front so far tonight. Cedric Gagne-Marcoux going out before the ball game. And of course, the injury, apparently an elbow, perhaps shoulder injury to Jermaine Copeland. Did not look good, and he is in the locker room right now. Calvillo dropped it. And picked up, and the Argos have it. Ronald Flemings had one of the easiest scoops of his career. Look what I found.
Well, Ronald Flemings was probably robbed of a sack on Montreal's last possession. This time he is rewarded with the fumble recovery. That one goes through Calvillo's hands. Yeah, always, anything happens, we're going to wonder about the finger and the tape job on that finger, if it was any part of the issue. You know, again, anything you're doing, whether catching, throwing, that index finger is going to be part of the feel you have for the football. He just may not really have the strength in that finger that he's accustomed to.
That's beautiful. Ronald Flemings' second fumble recovery of the season. Corey Boyd throws it to Cleo Lemon. A little razzle-dazzle inside the 10-yard line. How about that?
Well, we've seen the Toronto Argonauts run two pretty creative plays, both based on the impact that Corey Boyd has in the running game. As Boyd takes his hand off, he's going to go to his right. Cleo Lemon is going to sneak back after he hands the ball off, is going to leak out to the left and take that throwback from Boyd. Everybody forgets about Lemon because the focus is on stopping Corey Boyd in the run game. There's not an Alouette from midfield over when Cleo Lemon catches that football.
First and goal, the Argos. Boyd is spinning, still on his feet, and finally dropped. Strange start to this ball game. Couple of turnovers. Jermaine Copeland goes out. Chad Owens takes one to the end zone. And this play,
you've got all 12 outs from, you look from the goalpost over, from midfield over. Not a single Montreal Alouette on that side of the field. Love the creativity from offensive coordinator Jamie Elizondo, former Montreal Alouette employee.
Knows the Montreal Alouette playbook pretty well. Second and goal, hangs in to the end zone, and unable to bring it in is Brandon Rideau. There is a penalty flag right near where Rideau was attempting to catch that ball. 2 flags in the end zone. Illegal contact, perhaps.
Pass interference. Montreal number 35. The penalty was in the goal. As a result, it's first down Toronto on the 1.
DeAndre Dix. Culprit.
Brandon Rideau, the Argos' downfield target. He lines up as the outside receiver on this play. Gets a nice inside release on the corner, DeAndre Dix. That's why Dix has to grab him. All starts from that release. Now keep an eye on the Argos here. Jeff Keeping now moves from left guard to play tight end in short yardage formation.
Corey Boyd into the end zone. Touchdown, Toronto. Costly fumble by the Alouettes. Little razzle-dazzle, takes it inside the 10, and Corey Boyd has his 5th touchdown of the season.
And the Toronto Argonauts take a page from the Montreal Alouettes playbook. Boyd follows the pulling guard, Jonathan St. Pierre, number 66, into the end zone, goes in standing up.
CFL rushing leader before the week began. Point after now for Grant Shaw.
Time count violation. Toronto number 13. 5-yard penalty. We'll retry the kick.
Choke the life out of him. Remember.
Reference to the Argos' desire to learn how to play with a lead, learn how to finish teams.
Well, what a night, what a start. 14-0 Toronto.
By L'Oreal.
Jim Barker and his Argos, 14-0, 4.5 to go first quarter. Let's go down to Catherine Dolan.
Rod Smith, I'm joined by a very special guest here, Leo Cahill. Now, Leo, you coached the Argos during the 70s. With it being Retro Week, what are some of your fond memories during that time?
Well, this is retro night, I guess, and all I can say is those were the days, my friend. I thought they'd never end, but they've ended, and I look out here and I see different faces and different names, but I still see the Argonauts, and they're still my favorite team.
So with the Argos being up now as a coach, how would you assess this team this year?
I really like this football team. I like their coach. I like what they're doing. I like their attitude. And as you see out here tonight, they're doing some headhunting, and I think they're going to be a great football team.
So what would you think? How far do you think they're going to go this year?
Sky's the limit. If they play like they're playing tonight, they could go all the way.
Thanks very much. Back to you, Rod.
Leo Cahill.
Hey, do you think if the Argos make it to the Grey Cup that Jim Barker could get one of those sweet toques like Leo had on there?
Yeah, exactly. There's the Leo Cahill of 2010. Jim Barker and his Argos got demolished in Montreal a couple of weeks ago. Off to a very good start here. Anthony Calvillo trying to get some rhythm now for his offense. Avon Coburn. And as Leo Cahill mentioned, this is a kind of a head-hunting Argo team, and defensively we've seen that in spades this season.
Well, we sure have. Picking up some momentum here. Eric Taylor in the defensive tackle spot for the 2nd straight week, filling in for an injured Adrian O'Belly. On the back end, we'll keep an eye on Willie Middlebrooks on the corner. He matches up against Kerry Watkins, who had a big day the last time these two teams met. Got over 100 yards receiving.
Second short yardage now. Hand off again and stopped right there. Jason Pottinger puts the hit on Avon Coburn. We'll have to see where the spot is. Looks like it's going to be short of a first down, and Scott back to the line of scrimmage. That will bring the kick team out here.
I like the way this Argos defensive line has come up. They're not getting pushed back, controlling their men. Nice job in the middle. I believe that was Huntley that took on the double team. Allowed the linebackers to step up and fill.
Chad Owens back. The ball fielded at the 40, and Chad Owens brings it to the 47-yard line. CFL on TSN continues tomorrow night.